What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris coming at you with game number 3 between Quantic Gaming, now in the Ready, and Rattlesnake on the Dire. This is, of course, to determine who's going to be fighting in TI3 for real. This is the Wildcard match. Currently, as it stands, both teams have one game apiece, with Rattlesnake taking game number 1 after having a very, very aggressive push into ride out that push into victory lineup, and Quantic Gaming with the trademarked Wisp CK riding that to victory. So we'll see what's going to happen in this game number 3. We have the same exact bans as the other games, so nothing too out of the ordinary. DK going to be the follow-up ban from Quantic after picking up the Wisp as well as the Darks here. Rattlesnake actually picking up the CK, so possibly using that as a pseudo ban. Going to pick it up for themselves. CK without the Wisps comes very, very, I'm going to say, disappointing, because after you see CK with Wisp, CK without Wisp are just so much worse. It's still good, it's not bad, but it just is so much worse. So they're going to pair him up with the Visage at least. Very stable 2 picks to begin with from Rattlesnake. Could be the makings of a very aggressive lineup, or could be, relatively defensive as well, depending on what Quantic pick up. Darks here, most likely going to be the one to have to deal with the CK as well as that Visage in lane. So, yeah, he won't exactly have the best of times. CK very, very good at shutting down Darkseer in lane. Just wait for him to surge, Reality Rift him back in, stun him, and then have the Visage do all of his business, as well as whichever support Rattlesnake is going to choose in addition to those 2 heroes. And the Darkseer in the end, probably not going to get too much out of that. Quantic, kind of the other side of the coin, they have the Wisp, but Wisp without CK is a little bit disappointing as well. I mean, Wisp Tiny is great, Wisp Juggernaut's been seen, Wisp Brewmaster even a couple times, but really Wisp CK is the combo to go for. They do have a couple of options available to them. We'll see if Rattlesnake address any of those with their, I guess, incremental final ban between now and the real final ban. But after banning out the Chen as well as the Enchantress, I guess they don't want that, kind of creep war as they had in game number 1 to happen. So it looks like both teams not really looking to go into any sort of intense pushing lineup. I guess they both tried it in game number 1, and they both failed. No, Quantic failed at it. Rattlesnake was just very efficient at it. They're going to go for a Razor ban out from Rattlesnake and then instantly pick up the Gyrocopter. So right now their lanes looking to be possibly an aggressive tri-lane, get some safe lane farm on either the Gyrocopter or the CK, and then pair up some aggressive tri-lanes with the enemy Quantic side. Quantic does have the Wisp, so that's kind of something that they're going to have to deal with. The Wisp is a fairly weak hero in an aggressive tri-lane, doesn't really offer a whole lot. The Spirits do some pretty good damage if you really hit everyone with all 5 of them, but really you need someone to set something up for the Wisps if you're going to be successful in a tri-lane such as that. So Quantic can sit a little bit on their time to decide what they want to do with this. Right now, their lineup is pretty much a blank slate. They can go pretty much anywhere with this. They're going to be looking to pick up someone to partner with the Wisp. They also want to get a little bit more of that lane control. But really, what they have right now is just a ton of options available to them, and really, Rattlesnake don't really have anything that needs to be hard countered either, or anything that I would say can even be hard countered. I mean, Rattlesnake with the Gyrocopter Visage CK, there's no real way to shut them down aside from, play better than them, stun them, then kill them. There's no hero that's an end-all. And they're going to go with the Leshrac, actually. Possibly setting up for a more defensive tri-lane. They're going to need someone to pair with that. I don't know. It could be a Tiny. It could still be a Tiny, or they might just take the Wisp with the Leshrac. We've seen that a couple times, quite a while ago, actually. Wisp you don't really see in-game as much anymore because teams are just constantly banning him out, so there's really not much to play with, not much to look at with the Wisp. No, but in all seriousness, Wisp needs that partner who could really just stand there and first of all, make good use of overcharge in late game, but also actually make lockdown happen and make kills happen once you get that relocate. And if you pick up a hero like that, then you're good to go. And Quantic, they're still relatively, they could go wherever they want from this. Rattlesnake as well, they're a little bit more pigeonholed into going for a little, certain way to lane this. I mean, if I could predict that Gyrocopter Visage, probably going to go into the same lane with, some other generic support. It's probably what's going to happen unless they want to do something weird with the support Gyrocopter, which I wouldn't put past Rattlesnake. It would work pretty damn well, actually, with that CK. They're going to go for the Beastmaster, so that is going to be their mid pickup most likely. Picking up the mid hero first is always something risky, or it's something that you would generally want to avoid because mid heroes are fairly easy to counter. You pick up like Storm Spirit, then hey, OD. OD is pretty good. It's one of those examples. Of course, OD is banned out in this particular game. But Beastmaster, being a melee hero, and just having those very clear. Ooh, Sven. Oh man, this is some post TI2 Empire Team Empire stuff going on right now. This is it's pretty much exactly it. It's Go Black as well as Silent together. So this is really harkening back to the older days of Dota. Sven kind of fallen up. He had his moment in the sun. He has always been around in competitive games, occasionally as carry, occasionally as support Sven, which I really didn't like, but for a while, after TI2, Sven was the hero to pick. You had like one hit, 1,000 damage cleaves with God Strength, killing off entire teams after vacuuming. I don't remember what team that was. I think it might have been EG that did that. But yeah, that was actually a thing. You just have a stacked Sven, and then he would just kill everything for you. And if he gets a BKB, he's going to have to deal with the Beastmaster Roar, but, I mean, this Sven is a pretty solid pick combination with the Wisp as well as the Leshrac. You get that play stun, you get that carry, you get that gap closing, you get that killing potential.
5 seconds remaining.
It should work out pretty well for Quantic, depending on how the lane actually flows. But with Sven Leshrac, that in itself is a dangerous combination. Factor in the Wisp on top of that, and you have yourself a recipe for disaster. But, Quantic's still looking for their final mid lane hero. I'm gonna say a Puck. I mean, it worked out so well last game. I don't really see them going for anything substantially different in this game. I don't really know why they would want to. In Beastmaster versus the last game, who was a Nyx, both of them are melee heroes, so you have that kind of an inherent advantage already when you pick up a ranged hero. On top of that, their lane control mostly involves casting spells, which is very obvious to dodge with phase shift. So I don't think Quantic Gaming will pick anything but a Puck. CM going to be the final pick for Rattlesnake, so it's most likely going to be a dual core with the Gyrocopter CK, both splitting farms somewhere in the map. Beastmaster in the mid lane, and rather aggressive ganking lineup from Rattlesnake. Crystal Maiden is a hero that if you are forced to play defensively, she's going to disappoint you every single time. But if you could be the one on the aggressive, you could be the one casting the Frostbites first and setting up for other things, or following up with Frostbite or something like that, then that's where Crystal Maiden really shines. So Rattlesnake this game, they're looking to pour on the aggression. They have the perfect carry heroes to do it as well. Gyrocopter, CK, two of the carry heroes with, I would say the most early game potential in the game. I mean, generally carries are, I'm a Faceless Void, I'm an anti-mage. If you put pressure on me, I can't really do anything back, but if you put pressure on a Gyrocopter or CK, they will punch you back, and they will punch you back real hard. There's going to be rocket barrages, there's going to be stuns and reality rifts, all that goodness. So Rattlesnake Gaming with a very solid lineup. I don't really know if I could fault them for anything right now. A lot of it is going to determine on how their tri-lane is going to go. And wow, Quantic going with the Lich. It's a hero that they do run occasionally, so I guess why not? And is Lich going to be going mid? Well, it could be anything. Who knows with Quantic? Quantic is one of those teams that would pull out some really random shit, and you would go, what the hell are you doing, Quantic? And then they would make it work, and then you would feel stupid for even asking that question. First of all, let's take it off direct-to-camera. Last game had like 140,000. Right now we're only at 106, but I'm sure some people are still waiting and, getting beers or whatever before they jump back into this game. So, let's see who we have playing what on the Rattlesnake side. We have Luo playing that Gyrocopter. Again, Sagum playing the Visage. Icy going to be following up with the CK. Looks like he's going to be farming this bot lane. Perhaps Kabu supporting this as CM, and Lamb is the Beastmaster. I turned these animated portraits off because this is, I guess, as I said before, a new setup. So I guess, why stress it when you don't have to? Anyway, on the Quantic side, Silent is going to be playing the Wisp again, Saksha. On that, Sven looks like he's going to be defensively farming on his bottom lane. Go Black going to be supporting him as well as Leshrac, and ooh, this could be dangerous. They spot him out, and there's no way of getting him. Icy needs the CK bolt to land, but it's not going to happen. Everyone from Quantic's going to get the hell out of there. They do not want to deal with a 5-man from Rattlesnake, so crisis averted for now. Let's take a look at some of the other lanes. Fucking mad. Currently sitting in the mid lane as the Darkseer and Funzy. Currently sitting top as Lich. I I mean, this isn't really something that I would recommend just blindly in your games picking Lich and say, I'm going to go to the top lane on the Radiant, because that probably won't end well. But what Quantic knows right now is the fact that Rattlesnake most likely are going to be running aggressive tri-lane. It's going to be consisting of Sag, Kabu, as well as Icy. That means top lane is going to be handled solo by a Gyrocopter. And Lich versus Gyrocopter, first of all, Lich will be doing this all lane. All throughout the laning phase, sacrificing all of his own creeps, denying one creep at least per wave, and then just, nuking down the Gyrocopter as much as possible. Gyrocopter, with the damage and animation that he has, should get his farm regardless. But Funzy is going to work to chip him out as much as he can in order to ensure that that doesn't actually happen. And this is really some real metagaming stuff coming out from Quantic. Aside from this bottom lane, which they didn't have too much of an opinion on, the mid lane, having Darkseer handle that lane, again, a very intelligent move. He is gonna, he could very easily do this, dip into the jungle, get a stack off, and then clear it off later with like level 2, level 3 Ion Shell. But in the meantime, it is a melee versus melee mid lane. Then Darkseer loves melee versus melee lineups. That means that whenever the person wants to get gold, they're forced to sit in your Ion Shell. And although Lamb's going to get a little bit of free time here, he's going to get himself a level 2 before fucking Mad, he will have a very, very tough time. He's going to have to deal with this. Fucking Mad just being an absolute bully in this lane, and he's going to drop Beastmaster very, very low. Does have his bottle now, so shouldn't be too bad for him. And yeah, so that's going to be that. Shouldn't have many kills, at least for now. There could be a kill possibility on that mid lane. Top lane should be relatively tame. It's going to be, the Gyro getting chipped down by a couple of Frost Blasts until possibly there's a Chain Frost, or possibly the Lich gets a little bit out of position, in which case he's going to take a face full of rockets from the Gyrocopter. But action most likely is going to happen on the spot lane, where we already see CK leading 6-1 over the Sven, his 3-1 for 4-0. What am I talking about? He doesn't have any denies. It's right there. Jesus. So, yeah, the explosive potential of these two lanes, though, is incredibly high. I'd say that Rattlesnake have a little bit more of a better chipping lineup. They would be the ones poking at you a little bit more with the Visage Soul Assumption after, just landing a casual Chaos Bolt, Frostbite, what have you. But the explosive power of Quantic's lane is not to be underestimated. Once that Stormhammer flies, it is go time for them. They're going to be going all in. Whereas for Rattlesnake, they could be throwing a couple spells. With the mana regeneration that's inevitably going to be coming up from the CM, they should be fine to kind of just weather the storm and just play the chipping game. Do stuff like that. Bring Saksha just to a little bit less HP, and then have a better time with that lane. But we have to keep our eyes pretty much on all the lanes this time. I don't really like that. I mean, it kind of guarantees more higher levels of action, but still, I'm probably going to miss First Blood. I'm not going to lie. It's probably going to happen. Top lane Funzy, how's he doing? 7 for 1 actually versus the 10 for 1 for Gyrocopter. Surprisingly good last hitting skills from the Lich, who has an awful cast animation. He does have the Null Talisman to open up, so he does have that extra bit of oomph to his attacks. But he's holding on to that top lane relatively decently. Mid lane, very even as well. Lamb 16 for 3 versus fucking Mad's 15 for 0, but he's investing a little bit into the stack, which he just cleared. Bottom lane, did I miss First Blood? No, I didn't. Kabu getting dropped very low, but as this is O-Black, he's going to drop first. 2 Sag, CM's going to drop in retaliation, so it's support for support now. Silent, taking a good amount of damage, but he wishes he has a little bit of base armor right now. Saksha's going to try to give him an out with that tether. He is going to make, is there a Soul Assumption? There's no more mana, so Silent is going to stick the landing there. But in the end, it is a 1-for-1 trade. Sven got the kill, whereas the Visage got the other. It is a First Blood going the way of Rattlesnake, but I gotta say, a First Blood on the carry in a defensive tri-lane, a lot more important, I would say. Or at least, debatably even. So even though Rattlesnake did collect the First Blood bounty, not a huge advantage going towards them in this early stage of the game. So the game is still young, and this, look at me, I didn't miss First Blood. Who's the man, right? I'm so amazing. I should get like a medal or something. Like Mad trying to gamble on this bottom rune. Not gonna happen. It's gonna be top and it's gonna be Lamb. Bottling up perhaps one of the most useless runes, so he wouldn't happy with anything else, but it's gonna be what he gets and he doesn't have a choice about it. He will get a full bottle restore, of course. He's even going to put a little bit of pressure on this lane. You can see the skill build from the Beastmaster being one of lane aggression as opposed to more map control. Getting that inner beast when you're up against an Ion Shell, or it's an Ion Shell or 3, then you really have to try to push the wave as much as you possibly can, and the aura is going to help him do that as much as possible. So fucking Mad have to deal with increased attack speed from the enemy creeps. It shouldn't be that huge a deal. He could still put more pressure onto Lamb than Lamb could put onto him with those ion shells. But it's just, you know, something that the Beastmaster's doing to try to equalize it as much as possible. Looks like I missed a little bit of aggression here on this top lane. Funzy has not yet hit his level 6 mark, so that was only chip damage, bringing the Gyrocopter to dangerously low amounts of HP. Will force out his last tango, will force out the purchase of Tranquil Boots, which I'm pretty sure he would have gotten anyway in that lane. And no! Lamb hit the level 6 mark, and I missed a kill. Darkseer dropping in the mid lane. Didn't expect that to happen so quickly, but you can't win them all. At least that's my excuse. Not a good excuse, got to admit, but, you know, whatever. Whatever. Currently, Sven actually sitting at a 1 level advantage, and we got lag. Once again, this is because I'm assuming everyone in Dota is getting lag. I'm casting these live. So, well... Right, so yeah, there is a level advantage on the Sven that is not being reflected on the other end. Is the gold minute changing? Gold minute is dropping. Oh, guys, we're missing gold. Beastmaster's, he's not farming. Guys, he's not farming. Okay, let's see what we can do about this. Lost connection to Steam. Are you kidding me right now? How do you lose connection to Steam? Okay, I'm going to cut this out, guys. We might miss a little bit of action, but I got to get reconnected. Alright, I fixed it. Everything's fine. Nobody panic. Alright, so it looks like we didn't actually miss anything. Lich has hit his level 6 though, so Funzy actually can get a kill onto Luo. Odds of that happening though are, you know, rather slim unless Gyrocopter gets super aggressive or makes a basic mistake, but Lich doing some pretty good work, and Saksha, he wants in on this top lane. In the meantime, fucking mad, dies to the Crystal Maiden. That's going to be Q for them to go in. That's what kind of spurred this in the first place, but there's not enough follow-up. Go Black a little bit too far away. Stormhammer doing the damage. In the meantime, though, Kabu securing a kill, another kill for Lamb in this mid lane. So he's gonna... Was that Roar being used? Yeah, I think it was another Roar, secondary Roar. But it is Arc Boots for the Beastmaster. So we have fucking Mad dying a couple times on this mid lane. It's kind of expected that your Darkseer is going to die, like, in-game in general. But in a mid lane like that, you really wouldn't want him to die versus the Beastmaster. It's not going to end well. But still, this tri-lane, Sven is getting the upper hand a little bit, although maybe not. He still does have the firm experience lead. Level 3, level 4 versus the level 4, and Sasha gonna throw Ice Hammer onto Icy. There's no Reality Rift just yet. He's dropping very low. Can they bring him down before he casts anything? Yes, they can. Now Kabu, with the slow movement of the Crystal Maiden, is in a lot of trouble as well. Sasha is right on top of her, like white on rice, and now Sagam is in a little bit dangerous as well. Sasha diving deep for this one. He's gonna run straight past the tower. Has another hammer in a little bit. That's gonna be Visage dropping as well, but teleportation support, it is gonna be Luo. Gonna drop a call down. It's gonna be Silent, dodging it by moving to the left. He's gonna die, however, in the end. I think there was another kill that happened. No, I thought I saw something that I missed. But in the end, it is Quantic's tri-lane with the explosive power that I mentioned before, really taking it to Rattlesnake and forcing a couple of TPs back, getting the kill into Icy. Trying to fight into a Sven that's higher level than you, it's dangerous, and especially with CK Bolt not maxed out, 3 second stun is the absolute maximum. And Quantic didn't need any support from that one. They lost the Wisp, which is acceptable. I mean, it's just a Wisp. No one really cares, except, I guess, for Silent, who is playing the Wisp. But you had Sven collect a whole bunch of heads. That's going to give him his power treads. That's going to give him another free trip back to the lane. It's going to give him a lot of confidence as well. But what we see right now from Rattlesnake is that a lot of them are grouping down in spot lane. Luo has left the top lane, which is going to mean that Darkseer, as well as Funzy, going to put a little bit more pressure up towards that. But Go Black has to watch out. Roar canceled. Lamb did that last game too. What's up with Lamb, man? He had Nick's Assassin, and now he's going to pay for it. Luo's going to be the one that's paying for it. Actually, it was tactical. He was saving it. Chain Frost being used. Kabu's going to take it away, so very good by him. Only getting 2 bounces. Now Funzy can take a little bit of damage as well. Fucking Mad does get the vacuum out. Go Black going to finish off one. Icy going to try to give chase with that stun. The Edict going to do a little bit of damage to him, but Icy is going to secure that kill. So in the end, it is a 2-for-2 trade. However, Rattlesnake losing the Gyrocopter, now a Surge onto Saksha. He wants blood. He's probably not going to find blood as much as he would love to have it, although the Spirit's still searching out Icy. He has a TP, so yeah, he's gonna get out of there just fine. But Quantic losing 2 heroes who, I mean, although Lich isn't being played as support, it's a Lich, and no one really cares. But Beastmaster as well as Gyrocopter, those are 2 of the perhaps highest priorities for Quantic to actually kill, and they got that kill. I mean, despite the fact that Rattlesnake had a beautiful Delta split in this area, mostly Kabu just dragging away that Chain Frost. If they didn't do that, that would have been dangerous for them. Oh no, Kabu, run! Run through the tower! You are, yeah, Wisp is going to hit with one spirit, and then that's it. That's it. Oh, I'm sorry, Kabu. That's the unfortunate life of the Crystal Maiden. You get screwed over because the Wolves of Ice Rack are apparently like 600 pounds that don't move. Gotta begs the question, why don't they run? But, you know, whatever. Anyway, yeah, Lamb held the roar on this bottom lane. He could have instantly nailed out Go Black in this area. But we saw it last game as well when Lamb was on the Nyx Assassin. He was kind of hesitant to cast that spell. He had Nature's Prophet, who was being played by Bunzi? I don't even freaking remember anymore. Bad memory, guys. But he had him in the sights. I know he was fucking mad. And then he second-guessed himself. And this time it kind of worked out because they got the stun on Sven, but they didn't even get the kill on Sven. Otherwise, it would have been definitely a kill on Go Black. So yeah, Icy, I don't know what's going on with him. Lamb. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's definitely second-guessing himself. And that's really not something you want to have in this situation. You don't want to have your confidence shaken as you're in one of the most important games of your gaming career. But now, Rattlesnake, they have the roar up once again. They're going in for a big smoke, and it looks like Silent is going to be the recipient of the Death Stick. Yep, Reality Rift, Silent, nothing you can do about that. Punzi, gonna give him an Ice Armor because why not? Now, Icy, actually looking for another stun, not gonna find it. Level 6 on the CK, so he's getting his levels, getting a decent amount of farm. Sasha's just getting more. 1,200 on him. They have relatively stable, similar amounts of gold. Now Luo is in a little bit of trouble. No, actually, Sasha gonna retreat with that hammer. Bunzi does have a Chain Frost. Gonna burn it only onto Luo. Is there enough damage with another Frost Blast? Perhaps. Luo's taking a good amount of damage from the creeps. Go Black gets pulled right in. Here comes the relocate, though. It's gonna be Silent, gonna hit him with all the spirits, and now he has to run for the hills. 4-second stun means that the hills are a little bit too far away, especially when Kabu drops the hammer with that CM ultimate. Looks like Sven did teleport back home to save. Did he die? Did Sven die? He didn't die. How did... He doesn't have TP. What happened? I have no idea. He didn't die, but his TP isn't on cooldown. I have no idea what happened. Sven got out of there. That's, I guess, the bottom line. And Rattlesnake, take a couple of kills. Unfortunately, the Lich not putting out enough damage to really solidify the Gyrocopter kill for sure. Forced a little bit more of a commitment from the Quantic side in general, which ultimately did end up with them giving a couple more kills that they ordinarily would like. It would be pretty huge for Lamb, who is working for his mech, who actually does have his mech as soon as the courier could get it out to him, as well as Icy participating in these fights, going to head straight towards BKB. I assume Sven is going to be doing the exact same thing, so Sasha and this Chaos Knight and the Rogue Knight. If you played Dota 1, Sven was the Rogue Knight, as he was called. No longer, I don't think. I don't think that's any part of his lore. Yeah, they're going to be going for pretty much the identical mirror build, so we're going to be seeing who's farming better simply on that basis alone. Unfortunately for Quantic, they didn't really have the full brunt of their power there. They did, in the end, clean up a couple heroes, but Wisp giving his life in exchange for the Gyrocopter, again, it is a good trade to make. Silent is definitely not as valuable to get kills to, definitely not as valuable as Pink on the board. Let's just put it at that, even though that was probably a horrible way to put it, and I probably shouldn't have said it like that. But Mech is up relatively similar pace from the Beastmaster and the Darkseer. The difference, of course, being the Tranquil Boots on the Darkseer, whereas the Beastmaster has gone for the more expensive Arcane Boots. It's going to help his axe spamming just a little bit more, but Darkseer, going for Tranquil Boots is never really a bad idea. Top lane tower is going to be a very, very simple straight push from the Rattlesnake side. Looks like Sagam has hit the level 6 mark, does have those deadly familiars up and about. It's going to be a very easy tower, especially with Lamb having that 2 points inner beast. They're going to keep this gravy train rolling as well. Their pushing isn't the strongest. They're actually going to go towards the mid lane where Funzi already in a huge amount of trouble. Split Earth from Go Black. Might be enough to bring down Icy. Is there a Chain Frost? There is. Funzi, though, getting stunned right before he can bring it down, but here comes Sasha as well as Silent. They're going to take out one and then pop the War Cry and try to get out of there. They're going to run straight into Kabu. 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. Can Sasha survive? He cannot. Silent will survive, but in the end it's 3 in exchange for 1. Rattlesnake just taking the better edge on these fights. That's something that you get when you actually have this kind of lineup for Quantic. Their laning phase is extraordinarily strong, but when you're actually in those skirmishes, CK is infinitely more valuable than a Sven. I mean, yes, Stormhammer is nice and everything, but you can't really say that it's more valuable than a Chaos Bolt in a Reality Rift. It will just be incorrect to say so. And Rattlesnake making their early game team fights work. Of course, that's still... Oh, Silent. You do not want to be there. 4 second stun. going to receive the icy beatdown. One more hit. Wham. More gold for the CK. Has he overtaken the Sven in levels? No, he hasn't, but with this Roshan, it might actually happen. The medallion helping out a lot. Mechanism popped out, and Gyrocopter finding himself with a double life. Rattlesnake definitely with the advantage at this point, although experience earned, not really favoring anyone at this particular moment. As I say that, there we go, it updated, and it is favoring Rattlesnake, not surprisingly. Gold showing the same way. Quantic, though, they have a Sven, they have a Darkseer. If you have that combo, you're never really out, because the Sven's getting his farm, which Sven's getting, anyways, is getting an okay amount of farm. Then eventually there will be the big crits. And big crits combined with the Chain Frost, it's a lot of deadly, a lot of death that's going to be dealt to the Rattlesnake side. If, of course, they're not tanky enough to handle it. But so far it looks like Rattlesnake are pretty firmly in control of this game. They're taking definitely a lot more towers than Quantic. Every single attempt at Quantic taking a tower has been met with teleportations and deaths on the Quantic side. And Rattlesnake, meantime, going to push the tier 2 bottom lane with impunity. Looks like Quantic going to try to make a double trade. Level 4 Edict might bring down this mid lane tower. Goldblack going to commit fully to it. He will get it, however, Luo going to make him pay. Quantic, Goldblack is going to die for sure. No support available. Bunzi a little bit too far away. Goldblack's going to get hit by the missile. And actually, Majesty charges up. Here comes the support. Luo is going to be forced to fight 1v3. Going to drop the call down. Here comes the Chain Frost. Not going to bounce to anyone. Silent. Getting a couple of lucky mischances. He's going to trade his Aegis for the Shrek. He's going to be okay with that one. Now Luo has support of his own. The birds are up in the air. They're going to try to go for Silent. They might actually be able to cut them off. The birds might find someone fucking mad. He's going to get double stunned. If maybe not double stunned? No, he's not going to get stunned at all. He's just going to get hit by the missile. Not a big deal. Although here comes the roar from Lamb. He's in tier 2 tower range, but he gets pulled out because of that reality rift. Fucking mad drops like a rock. And there's simply no response available from Quantic, except for the Darks are actually buying back into the game. They want to take this fight. They don't have Chain Frost, however. It was used as simply one-man nuke. Here comes Saksha, ready to do some pain. He stuns the boar. Saksha, why? 4-second stun, and now Icy is going to pop the Phantasm and try to get out of there. A Split Earth does land, combined with a slow, vacuuming them both back into a wall. Luo's going to do so much damage, though. Saksha going to drop as well. Luo's still alive. He's going to pop, get the Mac pop for him. Fucking Mad going to seal the deal onto him, but Funzy's going to drop. Now Fucking Mad, the only one left to survive. The wall's not going to help him. Surge is available to him, but can Kabu make it? He doesn't even have any cooldowns. It's going to be 4 down for Quantic. Man, that could have been so good for Sven. I mean, there was a hero here, and then a hero like down here. It could have been easily a 2-man stun, but instead he got a 0-man stun. And how often do you see 0-man stuns on Sven? I think you gotta understand if it's on Goldblack. Split Earth's kind of hard to hit, but that was... There's no other way to put it. He fat-fingered that, and it costed them. I don't want to say that the fight could have been entirely different if he did land that 2-man stun, but still, a stun is stun. He had everything prepped up. He had the War Cry on. He had the bonus armor. He had the level 2 God Strength up and active. And he just derped up. There's no other way of putting that. Saksha messing up once. Hope it doesn't happen again, because, it doesn't even matter if it leads to a loss. It's just disappointing to see. It's just disappointing to see. But let's try to put all of that behind us, as I'm sure Quantic is going to be trying to be doing the same. They have quite the hill to climb, and Rattlesnake looks like they're going to not make it easy for him. CK almost does have enough for his BKB. Saksha, actually, they're neck and neck as far as the farm is concerned. Saksha's got to get out of there, though. So Rattlesnake still definitely with the tangible advantage in this game. They have lost 2 towers, one on top, one on bottom, but they've carved out the bottom lane pretty well. So their gold advantage, their experience advantage is still substantial in this game. If they get too complacent, again, Sven with God Strength, you can't really count out a Sven out. You can't count out a Sven out, come on. Count a Sven out. So once the cleaves start landing, once the BKB is up, and then, which I'm sure is going to be a, I don't know, maybe Mask of Madness, maybe an Armlet. I guess I shouldn't say for sure in that case, but, either way, there are going to be some giant activatable items for the Sven. You can go to town on your team, Roar or no Roar. Of course, if you isolate him out or if he fat fingers his stun, then you don't really have to worry about that. But I don't think you can kind of rely on him to be doing that every single game. It's like Quantic setting up for a big smoke. They're going to pop it, and let's see their path they're going to follow. I bet they're going to go like this. I can't draw on the map. Why can I still not draw on the map? I guess it's because I'm technically live spectating, which is at 124,000. Not bad. And yeah, that would be just a cluster F of things. But sentry wards, observer wards, they just want to know if they're being spotted out, and so far they are not. They're going to find Icy. Where's the stun? There's the stun on the creep! What? I don't understand my world anymore. Sasha's gonna go to town on Icy. They will pick up the kill. God Strength doing some work. Roar onto fucking Matt as well as Kabu. Dropping the hammer on his ultimate. Big hits from the Sven. Not gonna be enough. He really is having trouble securing the kills with the Chain Frost. Doing work as it bounces through. It's gonna be 2 down, 3 down from Rattlesnake. However, they're not done. Sasha not gonna get escape out of this one. Funzy needs to teleport out here right now, but he doesn't have a TP, and he's probably gonna die. I would suicide to the Dire. Oh, Luos. Does he see him? Funzy hiding. Okay, Funzy. Secret agent time. Can you ninja your way out? Challenge mode. Super challenge mode. Oh my god, he made it out. No, he has a missile. He's not going to make it out. Funzy, just suicide. What are you doing, bro? You just got to suicide to the Dire at this point. But anyway, Rattlesnake lose 3. They get 2. I guess they lose 3, get 3, but with Funzy now going to bite the dust. But they did have a CK buyback. And that's absolutely huge. Because whereas Sven has his BKB, used it already for the 10-second charge in a fight, which is important, CK is still not at that point. Even though Sven, for some reason, stunned the friggin' Ursa. I don't understand. I simply don't understand. Maybe it could be nerves getting to Sasha, but he's played in these environments before. When he was on MTW, he was... Oh, what was it? What was the term? I think it was DreamHack, and then, hell, when he was in Quantic, he was also a DreamHack versus Alliance. So he's been in land situations before. He's been in high-pressure situations before, but man, that's... I don't even know. I don't even know. This is going to be a Mask of Madness for the Sven, and really the star of that last fight was the Chain Frost from Funzy. It did so much work onto... I believe it was bounced between Kabu and Lamb, and I mean, as tanky as the Beastmaster is, you can't really take that many Chain Frost hits. It's just not going to work out for you, especially since after the new patch, or the newest patch rather, the jumps are upgraded to 10. And if you don't split out perfectly, which is what they have been doing, really, the chain frosts from Funzy have been kind of lackluster up until that last fight. If you don't split out of that, you're gonna take a beating. It doesn't really matter who you are. But it's still 14-24 in the end. Quantic, they don't really want to be making these one-for-one trades. Even though they do have the Sven, they have to deal with the CK, they have to deal with the Gyrocopter. Maybe not Gyrocopter, but CK is definitely a hero that could handle the Sven 1v1 in a man fight. There aren't many heroes that could do that. Most of the carry heroes, like classic example from when the Sven was really popular, would be the Luna. And, you know, Luna is a great carry. She does a lot of damage to everyone, very similar to the Gyrocopter in many respects. But in the end, when you have Sven with the God Strength hitting you, he's going to bring one person down at a time. And that's pretty much exactly what Quantic want to do right now. Just chip one hero out, chip another hero out. And by chip, I mean chunk intensely. Greater Hawk, I see canceling off that stack of Ancients. And oh, they're going to collect some bounty from these familiars. A little bit of 100 gold goodness going for the Sven. Will give him a little bit more of an edge as he's building towards his Mask of Madness. But big smoke from Rattlesnake. They did spot out the pull attempts, and Familiar making it very difficult for him, as is the Beastmaster Hawk, to get that double stack out. Speaking of stack, holy cow. That was... who is this? Who is the helmet on? Okay, that was the, Gyrocopter. Gonna make absolute bank. Bring himself up to, what, 3,600 gold? Man, that's a lot of G's, man. And Quantic don't really have that same thing on their side. I mean, they definitely would have liked to, but we're gonna wait for another flat cannon, and then the rest of these hard creeps, they're gone. Luo's gonna bring himself up to, you know, wealth status, like 1% status right now. He's gonna get his BKB secured, most likely. He's gonna get another stack and then clear it out. Wow. This guy is loaded, not to mention all the experience going for Kabu, going for Icy. Get these nice levels up. And then they could go straight for the Roshan. In the meantime, Quantic, these peasants, with their single stack of Ancients. Oh, these poor people in their single stacks. Yeah, it's gonna be Luo with up to... wow, I said 36, 36? I'm wrong, it's 43. Jesus. This guy's loaded. What is he gonna do with it? It's most likely gonna be a BKB, because you don't want to get hit by a Sven Bolt. But BKB definitely won't save you from Sven once he has his Mask of Madness and he's beating down on you with God Strength. Really no way to avoid that except for Halberd or some sort of evasion for yourself, or, you know, Halberd from an ally, or I guess Halberd does give evasion, so that'll work either way. Both teams content to farm it up. A lot of the Quantic eggs are being put into the Sasha basket. and he's actually just going to go for casual lifesteal. Now come the crits. So this is where Sven starts to get real dangerous. His allies, not the biggest threats in the world. The Wisp is still a high priority target. So you have the Wisp as well as the Sven. I guess you don't need the Mask of Madness because you have the Overcharge, which is essentially Mask of Madness, except not as mad. You just need straight up damage so that the Overcharge actually hits like a truck as opposed to hitting like a noodle. The crit is now up on the Sven. He's going to be doing some pretty big damage. But really, the rest of Rattlesnake, the threat is more balanced on them. I mean, you want to take out the CK, you want to take out the Gyrocopter, even the Beastmaster. So you're going to be putting out some pretty big damage. Level 4 Aura has a mech as well, so he's not exactly someone you can afford to ignore, especially when you combine that with the fact that there's also CM, who is deserving of a stun. And really, Quantic, they're going to have to land their stuns pretty perfectly or else face the wrath of the Freezing Field. What are you doing here, man? You gonna get out? CK Bolt! Oh, it is gonna land, and fucking Mad is fucking mech not saving from that. He's trying to take down the tower, but it's now in deny range, and it is gonna be denied. Low gonna take that one out from the hands of Quantic. And then right after that, perfect. Get a pick off, go straight towards Roshan. Lamb in the meantime has completed his Aghanim Scepter. Sagam is providing a little bit of reconnaissance. And this Roshan is not long for life. Really nothing that Quantic could do about this. Haste rune on Saksha won't really help him in a fight. Although a double damage rune would. That would be spectacular to see. It's been a while since I've seen that. But yeah, Roshan is going to be forfeit here. Rattlesnake are going to claim this one without any sort of response from Quantic. Say that, Sagam now picks up his Aghanim Scepter, instantly resummoning, so he gets his third familiar. And it's not looking good for Quantic. They really need to get Saksha to have a really good fight with, you know, Chain Frost and everything. But that's going to be a little bit risky, especially considering how well Rattlesnake have been playing to dodge the likes of the Chain Frost. And at the same time, when you're dodging the Chain Frost, you're dodging the Wall of Replica. You're split out everywhere. The vacuum's not going to hit. However, at the same token, if they fail to do that just once, then they're all going to get vacuumed into a wall with Chain Frost and Sven Cleave, and then they're unhappy. So yeah, Rattlesnake definitely pretty far ahead, but I mean, it's not huge. It's a 10 kill advantage, it's 11 kill advantage rather, but the gold experience, it's still relatively even. This Sven really farming up a storm, fucking Mad actually farming up decently himself. He's going to go for Aghanims, which I think it's a correct decision. Pipe would definitely help with the call down with the CM Freezing Field, but really once you get that Aghanims, you're turning really large threats on the other side, Luo as well as Icy, onto your cause. Those illusions are going to be wreaking havoc for you instead of for the enemy. Rattlesnake with the Aegis, they're going to go straight for a tier 2 mid push, and there's no response from Quantic, so they're going to sack this tower, try to make a trade, but yeah, this is not going to be a trade they can make, because Rattlesnake are just either going to force the issue and take a tier 3, or just teleport, you know, Icy and Lamb back, and then it's all over for these two, or just fortify and then go for tier 3. That'll work as well. So now Quantic, they're on the ropes. Can they get the big team fight that they need? Mask of Madness has been picked up. Instantly initiation onto Go Black. There's going to be no track for this fight. Fucking Mad going to get a vacuum into a wall. Going to catch 2, but the Chain Frost whiffed completely. It's going to hit nothing. Bounce. Actually, it is going to hit quite a bit. No, it's not actually. Luo is going to take those bounces actually. BKB takes it, but it doesn't do damage. Lamb going to take a Stormhammer, and now, why aren't they going for him? Saksha, what you doing, man? Fucking Mad. Gonna get burned down by these familiars. One crit brings down one, another crit brings down another. There's gonna be 2 down for Quantic, whereas the rest of Rattlesnake is barely making it out of there. That should have been Lamb dead. I don't know why Saksha was focusing these creeps. Kabu's still on the run. Oh, there we go. Relocate. Gonna snag a courier on the way out. Kabu also gonna drop. And Rattlesnake, they thought that was a for sure win, especially after picking up Go Black. But man, Saksha, you cannot count this guy out. Sven is going to be doing a lot of damage, especially now that he's completed Mask of Madness. Deadless, I'm sure, is going to be the next item of choice. I mean, Chain Frost completely whiffed. It hit only creeps, it hit only BKB targets. But it didn't really matter, because Sven was doing the damage. It was all a trap. It was just deceit. Smoke and mirrors. It's like, hey, Go Black the threat. Chain Frost is the threat. No, the real threat is Sven, and he's right in your face with his giant bottle opener right in there. Seriously, how could anyone look at this and not think bottle opener? Whose idea was that? Come on. Anyway, Roshan still not being used up. Luo still does have that, and he's actually working towards Butterfly, which he should have relatively shortly. That will force Saksha to buy up an MKB after this Daedalus. It's not really going to be too big a deal for him, I'm sure. It's like, hey, I had to get an item with more damage. Woe is me. I think you probably would have preferred a heart or something like that. Just get tanky, get big. There's BKB, now at 8 seconds, so slowly getting run down. Not a huge deal for him. Still 8 seconds, more than enough time to have to, do all the damage that you want to do. But Quantic still hanging in there, putting up a really good fight in that push. And now Daedalus can be completed, will be completed, and Silent, you better teleport like right now. Okay. He doesn't have a teleport. Goodbye, sweet prince. Boom. Once again getting the icy beatdown. Drodo gonna get the MKB, or rather Daedalus, finish for Saksha. I'm gonna turn on a light, 1 second. Alright. Nah, that's better. I can actually see things now. Brilliant. Kabu gonna do some aggressive warding. But really, Quantic, they want to buy more time for this Sven. Because they're already deep into this Sven basket. There's no backing out now. They have to have this Sven work out. He has to be the one man, I'm going to kill your entire team. Sven's that type of hero. He can do that if the enemy team allows him to. And right now, Quantic are doing a pretty good job at just buying time, buying space, pushing out the top lane, forcing heroes to go where they otherwise would not really want to go. They're securing themselves more and more farm. Actually, Force Staff is the choice of Darks here, not Blink Dagger, which is generally the more commonly picked up item if you want to get in there as Darkseer. But Force Staff, I guess, if you're going to try to defend the Sven, would also be pretty good. Oh man, someone's making food. I'm hungry. I'm starving, actually. And I'm freezing. There we go. Crap, it's late. Alright. Not much happening right now. Both teams just continuing to farm up, buy more space for their carries to get farm. If this goes on, I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen like a full-on carry Sven who's this stacked. It's really hard to evaluate how much power he's going to put out in a fight. And, well, I mean, if he gets the Storm Hammer, he's going to put out a lot of power guaranteed. Fucking mad. Oh, well, if that's not a clear indication that they're smoked up, I don't know what is. So, smoke pretty much whiffed from Quantic. It's going to force them to go back and just farm a little bit more, whereas Rattlesnake, they're looking to press the issue. Roshan, Age is going to be reclaimed in like 30 seconds or something like that. So, 5 seconds, excuse me, 25 seconds off, no big deal. It's only a matter of life and death. There's the Roshan Aegis reclaimed, and the tier 2 tower now in a little bit of danger. Luo could pretty much tear this tower down by himself if he wants to. The Familiars, with their bonus damage, can chip in as well. Quantic, there's no response from them. They're going to sack the last tier 2 tower that they have. Even a drum being popped out. They thought they were in trouble, but they were not. So Quantic's Saksha and Silent. Going to try to get more farm around the map, whereas the rest of their team hold the base. Don't have to worry about this ganking squadron. And by that I mean the 5-man from Rattlesnake. It's a pretty large threat, I would say. But Silent and Saksha just need more farm. They need to buy more space. Rattlesnake, I feel, after this next Roshan, I think it's just time to 5-man and push in. Enough of the safe play. Yes, Saksha's a threat, but he's not going to become any less of a threat. I mean, I guess they do have a CK who's now has the Heaven's Halberd, so he's going to have that evasion as well as Gyrocopter who has evasion. Maybe they're just waiting for their core items to be up. I don't know. As this game progresses, Quantic's going to have more power onto one hero, whereas Rattlesnake is going to have more power onto multiple heroes. And I guess when you have that situation, you never want to let go of that, because then it's harder to determine, who do I stun? Who do I use my, who do I prioritize to drop something on? So, that was like the worst way of putting that. Who do I stun, mostly? And lag. Okay, here we go. Saksha leading the way. Does he know where the enemies are? There's a pretty large stack of Ancients being stacked up, and I'm sure killed by Luo. And yeah, Quantic don't want to go up that uphill. That is a death trap. This is not what you want to have to deal with. 34 minutes into the game. Just another tame farming phase for now. Does Rattlesnake continue to get some big items up? Possibly looking for a smoke? No, they're just sitting like they're looking for a smoke. There we go. Kabu's going to buy the smoke. And they're going to go straight towards the bot lane. This is going to be a very important fight as my game bugs out. Roshan, get out of here. Kill the Familiars. That would be actually huge. It's 300 gold. Would force a resummon as well. Easy Saksha. Oh, okay, well, forced out the resummon regardless. Roshan did leave my screen, so. Did they smoke? They did not smoke, so. If they take this fight, this would be perhaps the most important fight of the game determining fight. if Quantic take it convincingly, that's going to be probably 2 tier 2s. However, Saksha going to get roared, as well as a 4-second stun. He's going to die in instant. The 4-staff out won't be enough. This is not going to be going Quantic's way. There's no way for that to happen. They're all going to crumble, and they're going to try to teleport out the rest of them. Bunsy's going to make it out, as well as fucking Mad. But having Sven locked down like that... Oh, Sagam is going to die to his own illusion. So I guess they get something. Darkseer gets quite a hefty paycheck from that kill. He gets hit by something across the screen. Rattlesnake take a very, very crushing fight, and really no effort from them. The wall was dropped to vacuum as well. Roshan not up for another minute though, so they jumped the gun just a little bit. But they isolated and killed the Sven. And that, if that's going to be the case from now on, if the Roar is going to be saved exclusively for Sven, this game is over, and Quantic just don't know it yet. Because if Sven is roared, then, especially, I mean, even if he has a BKB, the Gyrocopter and CK are going to be just hammering at him, and there's no way for him to respond, except for, I guess, Force Staff from his teammates, or I guess Vacuum Back, which is kind of like opposite Force Staff from the Darkseer. The Sven needs to survive that combo or not get hit by that at all. And even if he gets his BKB up, yes, it's going to help him a little bit from, you know, maybe CM or Visage from throwing out a Soul Assumption or something like that. But in the end, it's CK and Gyrocopter who's dealing the damage. And there's no way for the Sven to retaliate if he's stun blocked. And with an Aghanim Scepter up on the Beastmaster, he's going to be stun locked. So, Quantic, they have to get the jump onto Rattlesnake. If Rattlesnake get the jump on them, if they have the initiation luxury, it's not going to end well. This could be an option, Go Black kind of being very clearly a bait in this mid lane. Or they're just going to go for a straight push. I mean, the ultimates are all up from Rattlesnake. There's no Tidehunter on their side this time, so there's no real thing to avoid, or, you know, timing to achieve. And here we go. Icy and Lamb gonna lead the chase. Already the birds messing up Go Black a lot. Sven wants in, but he gets roared. Is there any follow-up? There's no follow-up. This is the chance for Quantic to take this fight right now. Go Black gonna get dropped. Vacuum as well as Wall. Not gonna hit anything though, but the Chain Frost does bounce through. Not really doing much of anything at all. Sven though, going to town onto one, wants Icy, gonna get him as well. 2 down for Quantic. Kabu gets stunned instantly by the tether as he tries to cast his freezing field. In the end, it's a 2-for-2 trade. No Saksha without another God Strength for a little bit after this one runs out. He's going to be neutered quite a bit in his damage output, whereas Gyrocopter doesn't have to worry about that. He will always be doing that damage output. So Quantic, I mean, they take a decent enough fight, but if they keep taking those fights, it's going to lead to them losing. They need to take better fights. I mean, that fight was all well and good. They traded a support and, you know, their Darkseer for the CK and this Crystal Maiden. And that's fantastic, but they burned another usage of the BKB, or, you know, in the more valuable usage of the BKB, 7 seconds. And they didn't get enough from it. And now Roshan is going to be killed again. This is going to have a cheese as well. Which, hell, you could put everything on the Gyrocopter, although I'm pretty sure they would like the cheese on the CK. Cheese on Lamb, or Aegis on Lamb, really, would be not bad at all. We'll see how they want to divide this, but if Quantic continue to take these even fights, the game is not going to go their way. It's just not going to happen. Sven could probably, maybe if he goes for like a Divine Rapier or something, he's actually going to go for an AC. I think he has enough attack speed with the Mask of Madness, Hyperstone, Overcharge on the Wisp. He's going to be putting out some pretty heavy damage output. And what happened right here is pretty much ideal for Quantic. Have Sven get roared, but not in a position for Rattlesnake to follow up. That is perfectly ideal. Or something like that. Have fucking Mad get roared and then have no follow-up. As long as roar is not being used to follow up, which is rare, they're fine. They could take a fight, and it should be relatively even. But they need to take a crushing fight if they actually want to get back into this game, because as it stands right now, the Golden Experience, Rattlesnake are just getting themselves more and more ahead in this game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So we're just going to wait to see what the ultimate response from Quantic is going to be. They've tried smoke ganking several times. If they go charging up into an uphill, or if they do this, oh, this is going to be messy. Kabu is going to think about moving in. No, fucking Mad. Spots out the birds. Going to get a triple stun, probably be resummoned, so he doesn't have them. Well, these birds are dead. It's going to be 300 gold for Saksha. Or maybe not. Maybe it's going to be only 100 gold for Go Black. Hey, Leshrac needs gold too, man. Semi-carry Leshrac, it's time. It's time, Go Black. Bust out the big guns. But yeah, they're just trying to farm this Sven as much as possible. Even if he's 6-slotted, it's really not up to Quantic as to how they're going to win the game. It's up to Rattlesnake to make mistakes. Because Sven is just such a basic hero. You turn on all your shit, you press all your buttons, you press this, press this, press this, and then you select which target you want to kill. But Rattlesnake, they have to make the roar happen. If they do, it's easy sailing from there. Whereas Quantic, they're going to have to mostly be reactive, throw the ultimate at the right time, and hope to God that Rattlesnake doesn't split up or something, but Rattlesnake, they're not going to wait. They have Cheese in the CK, they have Aegis on Gyrocopter. This tier 3 tower is not long for life. Wisp and Sven are coming back to defend this. Funzy possibly going to throw out a couple of blasts. Go Black on the front lines, trying to pull the creep aggro. But the tower does go down. Now the Phantasm Illusion working hard. Here comes the Sven. Who's he going to go for? He's going to go for nothing. He's going to try to work down Icy. Wow, Luo getting chunked down half his HP. Pops the Satanic. Going to go toe-to-toe with the Sven, and the Sven loses. Now fucking mad. Going to get force stabbed out. Sven forced to buy back, but he does not have his God Strength. He cannot fight in this fight. And now Go Black going to take a 2-second stun. Soul Assumption as well. Rocket Barrage going to seal the deal there. And Rattlesnake, it looks like they might have done it. They've cracked the problem, which is the Sven. He doesn't have his BKB, he doesn't have his Mask of Madness, he is no longer a threat. It's a 2-man stun, and wow, the cleaves are pretty strong, but 2-second stun into the freezing field. And Force Staff will save Saksha for now. The Raxes have already been taken, or at least they are being in the process of being taken. And wow, Silent 1008 critical onto Silence. Of course, Wisp has like no armor, but still that hit pretty hard. And Quantic are going to lose their mid-racks. They're most likely going to lose their bottom racks as well. I don't see any way for them to get back into this except for a miraculous like 5-man cleave insta-kill, which I'm pretty sure isn't even possible at this point. There's Cheese, there's Aegis, and Sven doesn't have God Strength. So it's going to be 2 lanes of Raxes for them. And I hate calling GGs early, but really not looking good for them. Saksha needs his God Strength if he wants to fight this. Does have a BKB, Mask of Madness, but already range racks going down. And he gets a 2-man stun into a nice chain frost. Can do some pretty heavy damage until Icy pops the Cheese. Turns around for Saksha. He's down. That's going to be a GG. There's no way for Quantic to recover from this because Luo standing his ground, still has the Aegis. Not even using it. Who needs Aegis when you have a Satanic and when you have no damage output on the other end? Funzy going to be awesome. Oh wow, the long axes killing off Go Black as well. That was well played by that Beastmaster. But in the end, Go Black going to call GG, and Rattlesnake are going to take this game, bring it 2-1 in this best of 5, going to make it game point. So the winner of the next game will go toward, if it's Rattlesnake, it will go to the TI3, and the loser is going to have to watch. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We're moving on to game number 4, right after a, well, I guess there's no break for you because you're watching on videos. So right after you load the next video.